nice and tall. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And as you inhale, sweep your arms down and up. And exhale back to the heart. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhale. And exhale. And then bring your hands to the fronts of the legs and lengthen. And we're going to slide down with a flat back and sliding back up. So keep going like this. And I want to focus today on the knees just a little bit, because last time somebody asked me what were good practices when your knees are acting up a little bit. So I want to go through some of that. Go one more time, down and up. And then come back up to sitting and bring your hands to the belly and lengthen, and a gentle twist to the right and back to the center and to the left. And back to center. We're just going to keep going from side to side. And then come back to the center. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left knee, right hand by your right hip. Lengthen. Take a slow, deep twist to the right from the navel to the top of the head. And try not to distort your knees. Let your knees stay right where they are. You don't want to let them kind of go this way or that way. Set them straight. And then just take the twist that you can take. And come back to the front, head, shoulders, chest, and belly. And again, lengthen that slow, deep twist to the right. And back to the front, head, shoulders, chest, and belly. And one more slow, deep twist to the right. Breathe in here. And then come back to the front, head, shoulders, chest, and belly. And bring your hands down to the side and inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. And exhale back. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then bring your right hand to your right knee, left hand by your left hip and lengthen. And 3 slow, deep twists to the left from the navel to the top of the collarbone, turning the head and coming back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. And that slow, deep twist to the left. And back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. And one last slow, deep twist. Taking a few breaths here. Coming back to the front, head, shoulder, chest, and belly. And then bring your hands on your knees, on your sides, and inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale back down. Go 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhale and exhale. And then sit up nice and tall here and just do some slow, gentle, holographic wave. And then come to a neutral spine, lengthen, and inhale as you round forward into cat. And as you exhale, lengthen and arch into cow. So keep going like this, inhaling cat. And exhale and cow. And inhale and cat. And exhale 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 and cat. And again to neutral spine and this slow, deep holographic movement. And then bring that to a close. And lift your right knee up and just lace your fingers over the front of the shin or under the thigh here and hug that knee in. And then bring your left hand behind you and you're just going to make big circles with this hip. And then reverse, making big circles going back the other way. It takes a little belly strength here. And then just hug the knee and lower down. And then bring your left knee in, hug the knee into the chest. You can hug under here if you want. And then we're going to make those big leg circles going one way. You can bring a hand back here or lace your hands under the thigh. Just find the way you can get some range of motion into your hip. And then reverse, going back the other way. I think I like my hands under the thigh better. You can work the knee a little bit there. And then hug the knee into the chest and lower. And just tap your feet out a little bit. And then bring both hands behind you and sit back a little bit. And lift the right leg. And you're just going to kind of swing this knee forward and back. We're just trying to do a little bit of passive range of motion into that knee joint, non-weight bearing, just moving it forward and back, and then move it in these little circles to get a little lateral motion, and then reverse those circles to get a little lateral motion the other way, and then bring that leg down and tap out. And we'll do the other side. So lifting the left leg and just kind of swinging the leg out and in. A few times, just getting that knee joint lubricated, and then start making big circles so that you work that lateral motion just a little bit. And then reverse, going back the other way. I can really feel those muscles work, and I hope you can. And then bring that to a close, sit up tall here. And bring your right arm out to the side, and as you inhale, just draw the arm across and up and exhale down, and then the left. So even though we're kind of focusing on the knees, we want to give the legs a break and a chance to rest. And so we'll just work on something else while we're doing that. Inhale across and up, and exhale down, and inhale and exhale. So keep going. One more time, each side. And then bring that to a close. And go ahead and walk or scoot yourself back towards the back of your chair. Lengthen the spine. And I want to just work into the head and neck just a little bit. So drop your chin down to your chest and roll your right ear towards the right shoulder. And slowly roll the head back around and left ear to the left shoulder. And down and across, and just keep going. One side and then the other, nice and easy. And one more time, bringing your left ear to the left shoulder, and then one more time back to the center. Stay here. And then lift your head up. And inhale, lifting your face up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, slowly lower the chin down to the chest. And as you inhale, lift your face up towards the ceiling. And exhale the chin down to the chest. Keep going like this, just relaxing in the head and neck. And the next time your chin comes down to the chest, stay here and breathe. And then lift the ears over the shoulders and make sure your knees are hip distance apart. And we're just going to straighten the right leg and bring it down, and the left leg and bring it down. So I just keep my feet flexed and bring the heel of the foot to the mat. And what this does for the knees, first of all, there's the range of motion of the knees, but also you're engaging the quadricep muscles, these big muscles on top of the thigh. And when you engage those, they provide support for the knee joint. So if we were standing up and our quadriceps were nice and strong, that's what would be supporting the knee joint. And then the weight of the body would be on the bones, and the muscles would be supporting the bones. And then the next time you straighten your right foot, stay here and point and flex, and really take your time. Notice how when you point and flex, that action transmits all the way up the legs past that knee joint. And you just want to feel the strength of the muscles as they support the knee while you're moving your foot in this way. And then go ahead and flex the foot, reach through the heel, make big ankle circles, go in one direction. And when you're ready, you can reverse, making big ankle circles, going the opposite direction. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel and lower that foot down. And we'll move to the other side. So bringing your left leg up, pointing and flexing the toes. Again, noticing how that transmits up the leg. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, make the big circles. And then go ahead and reverse, making big circles, going the opposite direction. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, and bring the leg down. And just bring your arms out to the side here, bend the elbows, bring the tips of the fingers to your shoulders, and let's do these little angel wings, forward and up, and back and down, forward and up, and back and down, and forward and up, and back and down. Go one more time. And then bring your arms down to the side. And now we're going to do an opposing arms and leg flow. So straighten the right leg and float your left arm up. This is inhale. And then exhale down. And then left leg, right arm, inhale and exhale down. So as you're doing this, feel the strength of the quadriceps straightening the leg. And you want your ankles or the heels of your feet in line either with your sits bones or with the top of the iliac crest or the hip points here, whichever reference makes more sense to you. But you want to have that sense of lining up your ankles and knees with the bony landmarks of the pelvis. Because the pelvis is the center of gravity for women, and if you use that as an anatomical reference, then when you line your feet up with those reference points, they will always be, your legs will always be in the most supportive position. So one more time, each side like this. And then the next time your right arm, left leg go up, stay here and breathe. And release. And then right leg, left arm, stay here and breathe. And release. Now we're going to go both arms and legs, inhaling up here. And exhale down. And inhale the same thing. Really look at where those feet are. If they're way out here, see if you can bring them together a little bit. You can really feel your sits bones here. So the sits bones, I think, sometimes work well as a landmark. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. And the next time we're just going to hold for a couple of breaths right here. And then go ahead and exhale and release down. And then go ahead and scoot yourself back to the front of your yoga mat. And bring your hands to the heart center. We'll do some seated forward folds before we come onto our back. So inhale, sweep the arms down and up. And as you exhale, swan dive forward, releasing over the legs. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, down the midline. Inhale, the arms down and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, down the midline. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up. And exhale. A few more times. And once more. And just taking a few breaths here. And then go ahead and make your way onto your back. So I'm going to switch my mat around just a little bit real quick here. And I may have to take a second or two. The cat did not like that. I might have to take a second or two to adjust. I think that should work. Yeah, that'll work. So coming down onto your back and releasing into the earth. And we're going to repeat some of the things that we did sitting up. We'll do them on our back so that you can see how the same exercise can feel really different just by changing your orientation. So go ahead, let's start by bringing both knees into the chest. And as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And as you inhale, let the knees float forward. So exhale, draw the navel towards the spine, hug the knees in, and inhale, bringing the knees forward. So, you know, there's a connection between the low back and the hips and the knees and the feet. And so if your knees are bothering you, it's good to work all of those areas. Because sometimes, like if the knees hurt, the low back will tense as a guarding mechanism or something like that. And the next time you hug your knees into the chest, stay here, just rock from side to side, massaging the low back into the earth. I'm trying to scoop myself down on my mat in a sneaky way. And then bring that to a close and lower one foot and then the other to your mat. And then bring your right knee into your chest, and we're going to make those circles like we made sitting in the chair. But notice, because now you're not sitting up, so you don't have to use the abdominal muscles quite so much to support the spine as you're doing this work. The floor is actually doing a lot of the support. And you can release into it just a little bit more. And then we're going to reverse, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close and lace your fingers underneath your thigh like this. And we're just going to straighten and bend the knee. And you don't even have to straighten the knee all the way. I like to keep the thigh tucked towards the chest. If you brought it way out here, you could get it straight. But we're just interested in getting this knee joint to produce some synovial fluid to lubricate the joint space. Now, the next time the right leg is straight, we're going to get a little lateral motion into the knee joint. So bring the side of the foot out, and then bring the foot to the midline and straighten, and then out to the side and bend, and to the midline and straighten. So you can see there's just a little tiny bit of lateral motion in this knee, not really very much. But we just kind of want to play with it a little bit, and you want to notice if there's any pain in any of this stuff that we do, then you need to back out of it. You can still do it, but instead of a circle like this, you might be making a little circle like this. Okay, so let's reverse that. So the next time your knee is bent, stay here. Now as you straighten the leg, bring the side of the foot out towards the lateral, and then bend the knee, bring the foot towards the midline. Straighten to the outside edge or lateral edge and bend to midline. And keep going like that, just getting this little bit of movement into the knee. And for some reason, this particular movement really does work the thigh muscles. So if your thighs are starting to ache a little bit, it's for good reason. And then bring this to a close, flex the foot, press it up to the ceiling. Now reach, 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 straighten the knee, and go ahead and point and flex your toes. And then flex the foot and circle the ankle just like we did sitting in the chair. Notice how it feels different here. And then reverse, circling the foot the other way. And then bring that to a close, bend the knee into the chest, lower the right foot down to your mat, and just relax. Take a few breaths. Notice if you built some tension up in your body, and just let that release. And then go ahead and bring the left knee into the chest and bring the palm of the hand on top of the left knee. We'll start with those big hip circles. Here you can kind of let the low back rock and roll. Move at a pace that's pleasant for you, but make sure it's slow enough so you can feel what's going on in your body. And then let's reverse that, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close. Lace your fingers under the thigh. And we're just going to start by straightening and bending the knee. Again, I like the thigh tucked towards the chest. And you can really feel the tug in the hamstrings here. You don't have to straighten your knee all the way. We're just lubricating up the knee joint. Now we're going to make those circles. So as you bend the knee, bring the outside of the foot to the outside of the body or to the lateral edge. And as you straighten the knee, bring the big toe towards the midline, bend towards the outside, straighten towards the midline, and just start making these great big, they're not even really circles, they're big ovals with your foot, getting into that lateral movement in the knee as well as the flexion. And then the next time your leg is towards straight, stay here. We'll reverse course. So now bend the knee, bring the big toe towards the midline, and as you straighten, the outside edge comes to the lateral. Bend towards the midline, straighten towards lateral edge, and keep going here. And then go ahead and bring that to a close, flex the foot, press it up to the ceiling. Now really reach, 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 reach through the four corners of that foot. And then point and flex the toes. And then go ahead and flex the foot, reach through the heel, and make big ankle circles going in one direction. And then when you're ready, reverse, making big ankle circles going the opposite direction. And then go ahead and flex the foot, reach through the heel, bend the knee into the chest, lower the foot onto the floor, and just stay here for a few breaths. And then go ahead and bring your right knee into the chest, lace your fingers over the right shin, bend your left knee in, flex both feet, press your left foot up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, slowly lower that left leg down to the mat. And when it arrives, keep it active. So really flex the left leg, hug the right knee, lengthen the back of the neck, release into the floor, and breathe here. So you want to be activating the quadricep muscles on that left leg to support that knee while the knee is straight and strong. And then go ahead and bend the left knee into the chest. Switch your hands over to the left. Straighten the right leg straight up to the ceiling, reaching through the heel of the foot. And as you exhale, lower it down, keep it straight and strong all the way. Flexing the foot, reaching through the heel, and breathe in here. And then go ahead and bend the right knee into the chest. Straighten the left leg straight up to the ceiling. Slowly lower that left leg all the way to the floor. Stay here and breathe. And then holding on to your right knee with your right hand, press the left leg towards the mat. Hold that left hip on the floor and rotate your right hip out to the right side. And then bring it back to the midline. And then open the right knee out to the right side, pressing the left thigh towards the floor. And back to center. And one more time, opening the right knee to the right. And one more time, bringing it back to center. Hug the knee into the chest, bend the left knee, bring it in, and switch your hands to the left leg, straighten the right, flex the foot, and slowly lowering that right leg all the way down to the mat, hugging the left knee into the chest. Keep your left hand on your left shin, bring your right hand down to the right, and engage the belly, press this right leg down towards the mat as you open this left knee, because you don't want this to roll up like this. You want to keep that hip down on the mat and bring it back to neutral. And again, opening the left knee out to the left and back to neutral. And one more time, open. And one more time, neutral. And then hugging that left knee with both hands, bending the right knee into the chest, switching your hands to the right leg, straightening the left, lowering the left knee all the way to the mat. And now we're going to take a twist. So take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right hand by your right hip. And you're going to roll over onto that left hip, bringing the right knee across the body, twisting at the waist to get a nice stretch right here. And then come back onto your back. And again, exhale as you twist over, rolling onto the left hip, bringing the right knee across the body, lengthening here. Engage the belly, come back onto your back. And one more time, coming onto the left hip. And one more time, back onto your back, hugging that right knee into the chest, bending the left knee into the chest, switch your hands over to the left, straightening the right leg, reaching through the heel. And as you exhale, slowly lower it down. Now reach through that right leg, bring your right hand on the outside of the left knee, your left hand down by your left hip, and roll onto the right hip, bringing that left leg across the body, twisting at the waist, and coming back onto your back. Do that 2 more times, rolling onto the right hip. And back on your back. And one more time like this. And back on your back. And then hug the left knee. Bend the right knee into the chest. And let your knees fall apart. We're going to do my favorite twisting flow. So bring your right knee over to the right. Stack the left leg on top. And then lift the left knee, cartwheel the right, and stack your legs. And just go from side to side here. You can press your hands into the floor to kind of help you transition from side to side. And you can also feel those belly muscles working in this sort of ripply way. And this is just a great all-in-all tension reliever. Working through those muscles along the back. And the next time you are on your back, stay here, flex the feet, press them up to the ceiling in Supta Dandasana. If you want to hold your hands behind your legs here, you can. If you need to bend your knees a little bit to to get the legs a little bit closer to your chest, you can do that. And just take a few breaths. And then bend the knees into the chest, lower one foot and then the other. Straighten one leg and then the other. And make your way into Savasana. I breathe in and I breathe out.